Oh, great. You got me on saying that. Awesome.
Happy October, everybody. Matt and Tyler here with Powernail. Definitely into October, so we wanted to take the time to do another product training for you. With October, we're focusing on our model BR50 and 1890U. How you doing over there, Matt?
I'm good. I was just checking my Tim's unit time.
Good to go, buddy. Good to go. All right, so let's just dive right on in here, guys.
Okay.
So first off, we're looking at the BR50. Now, Matt, you wanted to take this, correct?
I thought I was going to, but you started going, so.
I just wanted to talk over you as much as possible.
Okay. You done well, bud. You done well. So yeah, the cool part with October, guys, is we've got two tools that we're offering. So you know what? We're trying to include everybody on diving in with these promotions. So part one of this month's promotion is the BR50, as Tyler had already said. This is our 18 gauge brad nailer. So we've got three types of brads that this shoots, from 2 inch to 1.5 inch. We've got the non-marring tip that's kind of cut off in the picture, but that's going to be nice for when you're doing your trim. Not going to show any marks on that to give you a nice finished look on your job. Very easy jam clear clip on the very tip of there, which is a nice handy tool to have. We've got a directional exhaust that you can twist around so you're not blowing in your face or blowing dust off the floor. And then what we'll see probably next picture is we do have the low fastener quantity indicator, which is a very nice feature to have. If anybody's been out there firing fasteners and you get a few rows down, you're like, well, these aren't even holding up because I don't have any nails left. So one thing I'd like to point out too on these tools, compared to the other ones that you're finding out there, is when you actually get one of these in your hands, you're going to feel that it's mainly metal. It's not plastic. It's not chintzy. This tool, much similar to every other tool that Powernail has, that Powernail advantage that we brag about, these are built to last you for the longevity of your career, if not to outlast your career. So that is probably one thing that we need to emphasize more that isn't really portrayed in these pictures, is these are tools that are built to last you rather than just throwing away and going to buy another one. So anything to add to that, Tyler?
I think those are great points, Matt. I sometimes talk about the power pack with the brad nailer. This is a brad nailer that packs a tremendous punch. And I'm going to come out with a video a little later this week, just going through showing the different types of material that you can drive those brads into. Because this is metal and because it is the size that it is, you have a ton of air backing up the drive blade in that tool, and you can punch into just about anything. So I'm excited to share that video. And no, I think you aced it there, man. It's just the Powernail advantage.
Yep.
All right, let's jump over the next slide then.
All righty. So yeah, so obviously with the brad nailer, we're not reinventing the wheel here. It is designed to do a couple things for you, man. It's there to help you finish up your hardwood flooring job. As you get up close to the wall, you're able to pull that board close to the existing flooring down and then pop it in along the wall to finish up that final row. And as Tyler mentioned in the last slide, the power that this tool has, you're really not restricted to any type of species to fire through. So it's a great option. It's a great addition to have. I mean, that's why we brought it on back in, I think it was January of 2016. We want to be able to provide our customers, our contractors, our distribution with really a full package installation toolbox. And obviously the brad nailer is one of those. So I'd say next slide, unless you want to add something.
No, sir.
So here's that picture that I was talking about that's going to show you that little hole is the ammunition gauge, I guess we'll call it. So you can see if your brad nails get past that line, it's time to reload. And I can kind of see it by the bottom knuckles there, but we do have a really nice quick release pinky trigger to pop that magazine open. So it's that's kind of maybe a double-edged sword too, because it's really handy to release it and then reload. But it's also there's sometimes that you accidentally hit and you pop out your magazine and your ammunition. So, but not only for floors, but we also are able to use it for trims, quarter rounds. If my door was open, actually you can see behind me, it actually did the trim work in my basement. So it's there for any base trim, molding, shoe mold, quarter round, you name it. The tool can do it. And again, with that non-marring tip on there, you can get up to the fine or the finished, trim there and not have to dent it and worry about filling a bunch of holes, just the nail hole. So
Absolutely.
I miss anything there?
No, man, I think you got her.
Okay.
I think you got her. Let's jump on over.
Okay, so then again, we got the tool, might as well offer the fasteners with it too. We've got 3 lengths that we use: 2-inch, 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch 18-gauge brad nails. What we did do when we offer these things is we actually offer it more for the contractor's quantity in the boxes. So we do offer 5,000 count boxes instead of the little 1,000 counts that you find at the big box stores. So you're not going to have to run back and forth and buy a bunch. It's going to be right there. And for our distribution, these are sold in 10 boxes per case. So they do work with really any 18-gauge brad nailer out there. And again, perfect for trim, flooring, crown, many other applications that you have out there. So that's what we got.
Good to go, buddy. Good to go. All right. So now let's take a look at the 1890U. This is our narrow crown underlayment stapler. This tool came out right around the same time as our brad nailer, back about January of 2016. And what Powernail was looking for as we entered the carpet space, we were looking for a way to do an underlayment stapler differently. So first off, we started talking to guys out there on the floors, and they were telling us we're putting down an immense amount of staples, and it's annoying to have to reload this tool. So the very first design feature that we knew that we needed to have on this tool was an extra length magazine. So you can fit 2+ strips of narrow crown staples into this tool. So there we go. You're going to reload half as often as you would with the standard 18-gauge narrow crown stapler that's out there. The second option, or the second design feature we knew that we had to have, was a tool that was primarily geared towards bump firing and putting down an enormous amount of staples over a long period of time. So we had to have a tool that was super robust, heavy duty, could be abused and used as a bump fire type function. Many, if not all, of the 18-gauge narrow crown staplers out there are designed for precision stapling or precision fastening. So their noses come to a really tight point, so you can see exactly where you're putting that fastener. And like what Matt had mentioned earlier, you touch our tools, you feel them. I mean, that's a metal housing. That's all alloy, obviously, except for that cap there on the end. And that's so you can use it, you can abuse it, you can drag it across the floor, and you can drop it, because we know that's what's going to happen. I've got a video here we're going to watch and actually see what bump firing is for those who don't know. But you'll see this little tool in action and how it keeps up with the demands of laying underlayment. So just some of the quick features. It drives a narrow crown 18-gauge staple. I want to call out though that you'll hear narrow crown across the flooring industry, and unfortunately it's used for many different sizes. So sometimes it's 7/32 of an inch, sometimes it's 1/4 of an inch, sometimes we're even out of imperial measurements, we're into metric. But our 1/4 inch narrow crown staples are true 1/4 inch. So if you have this tool and you're having some type of jamming issue where the staples aren't feeding, more often than not, you're using somebody's staple that isn't a true 1/4 inch crown. So always pay attention to that. The tool is going to drive staples from 7/8 of an inch all the way up to 1.5 inches. And you'll see here that we offer that full line of staples. Once we get up to those really long lengths, though, we as Powernail, as a leader in the flooring industry, we brought out staples to be used for the installation of floors. So the steel that we use in the staples at 1.5 inches and 1.25 inches is a little bit different from the steel we use for the staples used to install underlayments and some of those other types, maybe even attaching pad, just different types of staples there. Again, this tool is designed for bump fire, extended use for putting down that luan or underlayment, and we've got that double length magazine. Anything you want to add there, Matt?
No, yeah, I always say no, but I always do. But I do want to just specify too, same easy jam clear lever on the front that the brad nailer has, same directional exhaust mover or adjustment that you have on the top. And in all honesty too, the loading ease that we have on these tools, I think is something to really, not, it's easily forgotten about, but to not have to wrestle with something to load it, man, I'll tell you what is probably something that should be specified rather than, overlooked. But yeah, so just a few extra ones there that we tend to, overlook because it's common for the tough tools that we have. So.
Yep, great points there. And even just to piggyback there again, we do have the low fastener indicator here. So this is a good angle because you can actually see the legs of the staples right underneath there. Whenever you're down to, I think, around like 2 or 3 fasteners, you'll have a red indicator that pops up there. And I actually have a stapler with me. Let's see if we can get that. I can't on that one.
Never pointed at yourself, guys.
What's it? So here I've actually got a brad nailer. Matt, can you see where we're red right there?
I see the hole. I've got a little screen, so I
okay.
Just trust us.
Yeah. Hey, just chew up what we say. Eddie, let's go to the next slide.
Good effort, though.
Roll that stapler footage. All right. So I was talking about, what is bump fire. So here we've got a great example of someone attaching that underlayment to the floor. And I'm just going to hit play here and you can see what that looks like. In this instance, the user has removed the non-marring cushion on the bottom of that nose, and that's because we're working on underlayment. It's not necessary. So he's going to go through and you'll see that he's not pulling any punches on the tool. All right. So if you have a compressor that can keep up with that type of operation, you can lay down an immense amount of underlayment with a wild amount of staples real quick and real simple. Sometimes, after you, buddy.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say, I've taken calls, and some folks will say that the tool's leaving staples standing proud, but it's just like using your power nailer. If you're out there, you're nailing flooring, and you hear that compressor start to chug or recharge, you just need to stop. You need to stop and let that compressor charge back up because you're working out ahead of it. You're working beyond its capacity. So don't outpace your compressor if you're using that bump fire operation. Just listen to the compressor; it'll tell you what you need to do.
Right, and real quick too, Tyler, I've seen this on our F-Series tools as well with the 50F, 1845, and 2000 is, if that staple or cleat isn't getting sunk all the way in, if you're pulling that gun back before it actually sinks that staple, then you're obviously not going to sink it below, where you need to go. So I would say, as I tell my kids, I'll quote the great John Wooden, you can be quick, but don't hurry. You got to make sure you keep that tool down so that drive blade is allowed to sink that faster into whatever you're firing into. So, just little bits of, of what I've learned over the years with this tool of hearing people call and have some issues like that. It's a quick, easy fix rather than, jumping on the tools, jumping on that bandwagon. So.
Good to go, man. Excellent point there, buddy. All right, so let's take a look. I had started to mention a little bit about the fasteners for that tool. Again, Powernail, we're making the tool. We're also going to supply all the fasteners you need to run through that tool. Now, if you're familiar with Powernail's narrow crown staples and, like our 1845F, which is our narrow crown floor stapler, then you've seen these fasteners here. So that's our 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch. You'll even see where we kind of configured the packs a little bit differently, and those are specific to the flooring installer. We use a steel on these that it's a high tensile steel, so it's gonna punch through anything that you're working on. If you've got some wild exotic type of engineered flooring that's extremely dense, an MDF or HDF core that might spec out staples, you're not going to have any issue punching through with that high tensile steel. But in applications like underlayment, tacking down pad, or maybe some other, softwood type carpentry tasks, you don't need quite so much engineering behind that staple. So we've still just got a standard galvanized steel then available, that 1.1 inch all the way down to 7/8 of an inch.
Okay, Tyler, real quick on some of that underfloor heating, the net stuff, don't they staple some of that down? Would this be something they would use for that, or is that more on a finer staple? Or am I making that up? Do they ever fasten down the mesh netting on that underfloor heating?
So typically with the mesh netting on underfloor heating, you're gonna embed that in an adhesive.
Right, but before you
probably can if you're doing like a floating floor over the top of it.
Yeah.
But that would more so be a question for some of our friends in the radiant floor heating world.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah. But I mean, even felt, if you're throwing down some ram board, construction paper, felt paper, anything like that, that's 7/8 of an inch staple in an 1890U. And I dial that compressor back a little bit so you're not punching all the way through it. I think that would do a great job for you.
Yep.
I just cannot stress enough, whenever you pick up an 1890U or maybe somebody else's narrow crown stapler, just kind of look at the box of staples or the tools box and figure out what they mean by narrow crown and whether or not they're specing a true 1/4 inch or 7/32 or maybe that metric number. But really, whatever your narrow crown stapling is, we've got you covered here with a full breadth of lengths. Anything you want to add to that, Matt?
No, I think yes.
There it is. No,
again, I think we make it pretty clear on our staple lineup here with the 5 different lengths we have, which ones are for hardwood and which ones are not. So not that it wouldn't be able to fire it, but I think you just run into some difficulties with the 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch. So that's kind of a moot point, but I guess I just like hearing my voice.
Hey man, that's why we're on here, just to yell out into the darkness. Yes, that high tensile really makes a difference whenever it comes to harder species of wood. All right.
I guess one thing I will add, Tyler, I'm sorry. Again, we overlook it because it's so common with Powernail and the Powernail Advantage, but all parts and service you can find at really your participating Powernail dealers that have actually inventory of parts. But our web store gives you parts to every single tool that we sell. So if you want to do the work, you can order the parts yourself, or if you feel the need, you can ship it to us. All our repair fees are on our website as well. And within a 1.5 weeks, if not quicker, you'll have that tool back in your hands to keep using. So
absolutely, and that's a huge point. There's a lot of companies out there that they'll have tools like these, but whenever it goes down on you out there in the field, you just don't really have anybody to turn to because that company might be so huge and we might just be out there just making a living, and they unfortunately just don't have a very big ear to hear what's going on. Powernail does. We're a small company. We're still family owned and operated, so we support every one of our tools. We make ourselves available to you out there. If you're the distributor selling these, or if you're the end user, you're out there putting that underlayment down yourself, we're here for you. We're your resource, and we fully support our tools, and we fully support you with whatever you need.
And all videos are on our website as well, to guide you through any of the repairs you have to do, or even troubleshooting as well. So
Yep, absolutely.
full support system.
All right. And here we go. Maddie, I'm going to let you wrap us up here, buddy.
Well, it's another pro, it's another swag, but we brought back the gloves, man. These things, actually, I just used them this past weekend, doing some work around the house. And I'll tell you what, my 13-year-old daughter used a pair as well. So they are really convenient, really nice to have. Keeps your hands nice and safe and pretty, like these guys. But yeah, so 1890U BR50 glove promo. Get a pair of gloves with the tool you buy at participating Powernail dealers. I would go out and really push them to jump on board with it so you can get the savings and the free pair of gloves. So like I said, Tyler and I are available for any questions. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, powernail.com. You can see how to get a hold of us there. Even the office, everybody is available there to help out. And man, we are always willing to talk to a Powernail user to help them out and guide them through anything we can help you out with. So that's I think that's all I have for this.
Fantastic. Colton, can you ask me if I have anything else?
Do you have anything else, Tyler?
Not really, but no, man, I think you covered it all. As always, we thank you all for your time. Thanks for jumping on, letting us talk at you for a bit. We're nearing the end of Powernail's 2021 roadmap program. It's been a strange last 2 years, to say the least, but the program has been actually just a pleasure for us to work through with our dealers, our customers, and it's really helped Matt and I become even more visible to our end users. You guys out there who are using these tools day in and day out, I think both Matt and I would tell you, if asked, that we feel just a hell of a lot closer to what's going on out there because we've jumped into this program. So we're really not just blowing smoke. We say reach out. If you've got any questions, give us a call, guys and gals. We're here for you. So on that, thank you, everybody. Hope you're well. Hope your families are all safe and happy this time of year. And we look forward to talking to you.
Thanks, guys. See you next month.